That's it? Okay, all right, okay. Well, I love the partner sites, and having worked in the library a lot, I just noticed that there are a lot of people that they just don't really know how to use them. It isn't a matter of you don't want to use them, it's just that you don't use them. So my kind of specialty, my family's from Europe, so I'm not real good in US. I don't know about a lot of the census records going back to the Revolutionary War. You need my husband for that. Okay, not me. Okay. So I thought I'm going to start out and I'm just going to tell you a few things about, I'm going to start out with FamilySearch. And how many of you use the partner sites? How many of you use Ancestry? Okay. How many of you use MyHeritage? Okay. Anybody use Geneta? Okay. All right. So that just kind of gives me an idea. The one thing that I really like about the sites, and if you watch me in the library, I bring my laptop all the time. And the reason I do that is because I'm constantly logged in to all the sites. So how I have my computer set up tonight, I have opened each one of those sites, everything except Find My Path. And I don't use that. I'm not real familiar with it. You use it? Okay, I didn't bring it up tonight, but I know if you have family from England and that area that it's really good. And my family's not from England or any of those countries. So actually my family's from Belgium, France, Czechoslovakia, Austria, Germany, and what am I leaving out? I don't know, but that's where my family is from. So I just wanted to start out really quickly tonight and ask you a couple of things about FamilySearch. How many of you have taken the time to go through FamilySearch and look at all of the down menus? Okay, the down menus for family tree, for search, for memories. If you haven't taken the time to do that, you're really missing out, okay? Because every single one of these things, there's lots of new things in here, okay? My contributions, you can go see how many people you have added, okay? It shows you how many sources that you have had. You can set up a group, okay? You can find people, you can find your recents, and it has your tree. In search, one of the things that most people are unaware of is genealogies, okay? And genealogies is, how many of you remember the IGI or the ancestral file or let's see, I can't remember, ancestral file, pedigree resource, okay? If you look across the bottom of this right here, these are all the partner sites that the church uses. But here they are, the pedigree resource, the ancestral file, and the IGI. And most people are not aware that those records are there. So after I go through these sites, I have a few examples that I'm going to show you of things that I have found using the things that I'm going to show you tonight, okay? But this is really good. Any of you that are involved in stories is also on here. That's writing stories and sharing it with your family. I don't know that it's completely developed for FamilySearch yet, but it's there, okay? And they're adding some interesting things. These are lineages of the Middle East and the Islamic world. I mean, it's just to see what the church is doing is just fascinating because there's so many new things that they can do. So I'm just going to show you that. I wanted to show you too. Here you have the sources for somebody right here, okay? And this is what I find with my Belgium sources, okay? I have all these sources and they look exactly alike, okay? I mean, I want to look for a birth record or something, but what I have discovered in the last little while, if I go back to his page and I start to the latest changes, okay? This is going to show that person, okay? When the time he was entered, let's see when he was entered on FamilySearch. So he was entered, well, he was probably entered by me in August of 2024. He's not a real good one for showing you, but what it does, the sources are broken down on here, okay? And it tells you a little bit more about it because it's telling you the names that are going to be in those sources. So when I'm looking at my sources, I've kind of gotten in the habit of going to what's called I get these mixed up here. Hold on one second. Let me go back here. And go back to him. So they're right here. This shows you everything that has happened on the tree. So let me tell you an experience I had. One of our people that work on Tuesdays, her name's Arlene Perry. And she came in here one Tuesday and she said, somebody just told me that my great-great-grandfather was divorced. And she said, I'd never heard anything about that. So the first thing that I had her do, okay, rather than start looking at all kinds of things, we went to when the grandfather was entered and we looked at all the things that were here. And lo and behold, there was a divorce decree from the first wife. And the second wife was listed and somebody had just deleted them. And it was that simple. When you're doing family history, you've got to think outside the box. This is how I think of it. The information is there, and Heavenly Father, I need your help to find it. And oftentimes it's there, it's been taken out, and it's right there before your eyes. And God was really helping me that day because I really learned a lesson myself. Okay. So how many of you know how to, if somebody keeps fooling around with one of your, get this here, let me get my tree back. Okay, so somebody's fooling around with this guy and, he's detached him or he's done something to him that I'm not happy with. How many of you have ever gone to, let's see, follow? Okay. This is follow. Now, what that does is I'm going to follow him. And so if anybody goes in and messes his tree up, okay, or does something, okay, then I am able to see what's happened there. And I'm not sure which one of these is here, but you'll get an email telling you what has been changed. And actually on my phone, I have my phone app set up so that if somebody changes one of my things, it shows up on the front of my phone. How I did that, I don't know, because I'm not, it's just something. So I just wanted to share a few of these little things with you about FamilySearch. There's so much happening on here and so many things that you can do. One of the things, do you all know how to sign up for a partner site? Okay, I'm going to show you. So you go to the very bottom of the screen and you're going to have gallery solutions, okay? And if you're going to sign up for one of those partner sites, you must do it in FamilySearch in order to have a free account, okay? So I do not have an account in American Ancestry. So let's just open that up since I don't have an account. And it says join for free. And then I have to accept. And then I have to give them the login I'm not going to do it because my ancestors are not that, but that sets you all up. Okay. You do it for Ancestry, for MyHeritage, for Find My Past. That's where you go. And I would encourage you at home to sign up for all these sites and leave them. My sites are always open on my laptop. That's why I like to bring my laptop when I'm helping people. Because if they're not on MyHeritage and they're not on these, I can hop right on and see what I can find for them. Then we sign them up and we find the information, and then it's easy for them, for sources and stuff. Everything is moving such a fast pace with FamilySearch, and keeping up with it is actually kind of fun. Okay. Some of the other things are places that you can go. I'm going to go back to my main page here. If it lets me, it's not going to let me. It's going to want me to sign up, and I don't want to do that. Cancel. Okay, now I'm back. Okay. My mind's gone. This is what happens with me since I've had all these surgeries. Sometimes my mind just goes blank. Okay, so you go down to the bottom here and sign. You can go down to the blog. Okay.
What is that?
What is it? What is that?
No, that big lump.
I don't know what it was. We'll look when I get out of here, okay? So this is updated a couple of times a week, okay? And it just tells you everything where there's conferences, it tells you new things that are happening in Family Search. Every single week they release records, and I have an email that comes to me. I'm sure if you put, there's a way to probably get, I'm not sure how you get that email, but if you went here to the question and answer and asked for the weekly email. And so every time I get up, it lists all the new films that have been added to Family Search, okay? So I'm always watching for the Belgium films to see if anything's new, because my grandfather's from there, and there's just so much information that's coming out of there. So it's just one of the ways that you can keep up. The other place where I encourage you to keep up is this front page right here, okay? Right here are, so there's temple and record hints right here. So if I go to show all 73, okay, so this is ordinances that need to be done. I've done so much research and added so much sources. Everything I do now I send to the temple. And I don't even have time to go through these, but you also can go down here and then it's going to show you, here's someone that has resources that needed to be added, and it tells you what they are, and then you can go to those. And if you haven't worked resources or added sources, it's something I encourage you to practice. It's not real easy and you can mess up. I probably should do my own class here on resources because I kind of have my own way of doing it, but that is there for you. One of the other ways I want to show you how to do resources is up here and activities. I'm going to go over here to activities and I'm going to go to all activities. And okay, I'm going to go to historical records. Okay, so do these records belong to your relatives? Okay, right now I have, this is easier for me to find sources that need to be added. Okay, so I have 34 individual pages where there's sources that I can add. Okay. And I'm going to go back. I work these at night when I'm tired. They're easy for me to work. I'm just going to pick out a girl here and open this up and show you. And she does, she,
that a record thing or historic?
it's yeah, and she doesn't have any sources, which happens sometimes. They've either added them. So when I get in there, I'll start looking around at the other people that are on there and next to her. And sometimes the sources have already been added, but it's just something that you can do. If you come to the library and you don't have a project, okay, and you don't want to get interrupted, it's something that you can just add the sources, okay? You can look at sources and add them. So I just wanted to share those few things with you on Family Search, and I was going to go down there. Everybody wanted to know what that thing was down at the bottom. So let's go see here. Oh, this is a story, the grasshopper plague. This is a story somebody posted about his great grandparents, and if I got to remember the story because I didn't know anything about this. He married a lady, and one day he went to war and she went away, and when he came back he never found her. Okay, but he married one of my grandmothers later on, and it's fun when people add that kind of stuff because you don't know that. What I'm telling you is play around and look around at stuff, because you've got to get that you got to think outside the box. You got to look outside the box. If you're stuck on something and you need some suggestions, call me. Okay, I'm more than glad to help people. I've been in the library many times when people are doing U.S. history, and I don't have a clue, so I just get my husband on the computer at home and he can walk us through and show us some things. So don't be afraid to ask if you're stuck. Now I want to go back. Let's see. Let me make sure I've got.
Is that your picture there?
Is that my picture? No, that's my sister-in-law. She passed away about 20 years ago and somebody put her picture on there. Actually, I think it's on there twice. Somebody just told me how to get to change this stuff. Okay. Let me go now. Let's see to him. And I'm going to go back over here again to the same guy, and I'm going to walk you through how I do a part, how I use these partner sites. Okay. Okay. So, Henry Jean Baptiste DeForge. I got into the temple a couple weeks ago, and the man who was doing the ceilings had done his mission in France and Belgium. And I heard all these names that I'm always botching up. So he pronounced them right, and they were so beautiful. So, okay, so I'm looking at him. I'm looking to see what's here. He's there, and we've got a birthday for him. We don't have a death date. We have his parents. Okay, I'm guessing the parents came off of a marriage record. Okay, but I don't have any dates or anything for that. Okay, and I have some children. So what I do, I start by going to FamilySearch. Okay, that's the first place I start. Okay, and sure enough, here he is. I kind of know this because I've been through it today, but here is his marriage record. Okay. And so here's Henry, and here his let's see, there's his spouse, okay, and then there's the father and the mother's name of Henry, and the wife, her parents are there also. So that is enough, a marriage record like that, to get their work done. Okay, if they've been married and you have a record of it, you will be allowed to do the work for those people. Okay. Also, I'm going to go back here and let's see. Okay, and then here, right here, here's Henry again. And so here's the mother's name, and we've got a child here. So I always start with FamilySearch. That's the first place I go. And sometimes I think that all his children and everything are listed in FamilySearch. And it's a way for me to verify a record, okay, and know that it's good and that it's there. Now, the next place I'm going to go is I'm going to go to Ancestry. And this looks a little different than mine at home. Okay, so let's look at this record. Here we don't have any kind of a death record for him. So let's look at this. Okay, and see what we have. Okay, so there he is. This is a death record. He was born about 1801, and it's got the same parents on it. Okay. We've got Joaquin and Augustine. She doesn't have it here, but this is her. Okay. She's got another name, which I should add to there. I didn't add any of this stuff that I found on all these records. I'll do it another day when I have time. So I want to look at Ancestry for a few minutes, and let's go back up to the top here. Okay. It just looks different than I'm used to.
There's a button there that says you can turn on, it might make that.
That I can turn on what?
Pull it down a little bit more.
Just make it full screen and it'll look more.
Okay.
Just hit that square at the top of that.
Okay, I'm always afraid to that because I lose it. Okay. Okay, so does anybody know how to add this record over to FamilySearch?
It's saved, right?
Yes, I do it. I'm pretty particular about adding records. Okay, it's just me. It's just kind of how I am. See, I never get this back the way I want it. That's why I hate doing that stuff, because when I'm playing around, and I don't use it, I use all Macs. So Anyway, so what I do when I'm doing records like this, is anyone aware that if I go up here and I go to sources and I go to add a source, I can add this source myself. And I like doing this, and I just like doing it. It gives me a chance. The mother's first name here it gives me a chance to kind of go through it, okay? And we have a death record. I always put a birth year in this. If I don't have a birth year, then I'll put a birth date. I don't put anything but that. Then it's asking me for where the source came from. And if I go back up here, it came from this. I highlight this, and then I put it into this. Then my URL, I copy that and put it right here. The citation, okay? For the citation, I go up here and I go to source, and there's my citation. All I have to do is copy it right into there. And then I go, let's see, I've got my citation. I go back to details. I copy all this, the whole record, and I put it into notes, okay? And then I look at this and I tag it. It's got a name. I don't see, it's got the sex, it's got birth, it's got death records, and I always add it to my source box, okay? And everybody know about the source box on FamilySearch. Okay. When I add this record, okay, it's going to show up in my source box. And this isn't that record, but here it is. And this allows me to attach a source, and I can add it to Henry, I can add it to the father, I can add it to the mother, okay? And I can do it all with the ID number, okay? It's kind of tedious and you kind of have to get used to it, but I have to go back over here. Second, I go back over here to his person page. Before I do it, I've got to actually get, so if I want to put I just copy that right there. I copy the ID, go back up to the source box. And go to the source box. And then I attach it, and it allows me to put it in by ID number, okay? Now, something really interesting about Ancestry is about a year ago, Ancestry purchased, go back over here. Jeanette, right here, yes.
You jumped through something that I wasn't
Okay,
seeing before. The way I got to the source box, I go into the father,
uh-huh,
and then I go to his source box and go down the source box, and then I pick up the last thing that was entered, which was for the son, right? And that's the one I wanted to do to the mom and dad. But you went up to the top.
I go up to the source box here.
And that's right there.
Yes, and I didn't use the source box for years, and I have never eliminated the 11,000 sources that I have in there. At okay, I just click on my name right here, and there's the source box. That's why I told you guys, you have to take the time to go through all these drop down menus. You just look at them, okay? Because that's how I do it. Other people have different ways of doing it. So what I wanted to tell you, and what was interesting about this guy, is that Ancestry bought Janetta about a year ago, okay? And see right here where it says community trees. So let's go back over here and look at my guy. Janiet, what is it called? Janaeanette. I've never heard it pronounced that way, but that's okay. Let me go back over here. Okay, so when I open this up, this is from Janet or whatever we call it here, okay? And it's pretty much, it's got a child on here, okay? But I can jump over here and look at it on Gianetta or whatever we call it. And sometimes especially if you're in different parts of Europe, okay, I find these go back. This one doesn't go back. If it doesn't have a year or something here, this is the end of it. A lot of times it'll go back with all the parents and stuff. They do have the sources listed down here. They're kind of hard to read, but I'm going to go back over here to Ancestry where we were. And I do the same thing here. I could add it from Gianetta or however I wanted to do it. I just can't tell you the wealth of information that is in these sites. Now I'm going to jump over to MyHeritage. Am I logged out? I'm not signed in. That's here. Okay. It was too big. That's why I lost it. So. Okay. So here I'm going to move this over. Move this tab over here. And then I'm going to go back to this main page right here. Okay. So here I'm going to have into MyHeritage. MyHeritage is really, really good in Europe. The thing that you have to watch as you're in MyHeritage, I'm going to show you. This record, that first record we come up to, is a vital record from France. So it's a good record, okay? I'm going a couple of records like that. And then I get down into here, and this is a MyHeritage tree, okay? You have to be careful when you're in here. Sometimes I won't find it under Henry, but I can't find anything in MyHeritage. So I go back and I look up his wife and I go over to MyHeritage, okay? What you want to be careful in here is like you'll find FamilySearch trees, okay? That's going to be the same thing that you're looking at in FamilySearch. But what has happened now, let me go down here and go to MyHeritage. Okay, I don't even know if this is the same person. I'm going to go here anyway, because what I want to show you is what I'm looking for. And he doesn't have it. There's another record, but I'm out of him. When you're working in here, you've got to be very, very careful that search this collection. Lots of times there'll be 4 or 5 pages of actual documents on here. If you get one up here that says FamilySearch, it's just going to be this tree right here, okay? If you get, I don't have enough time to go looking for another one, but I am glad to help you with this, okay? Even if you guys call me at home, I can hop on my computer and get you the ID number of your person and I can help you look, okay? I was looking on here. I don't know if it was Sister Hinckley or not. That day that you were looking to expand your relatives in Denmark or somewhere over there. Was it you? It might have been Ivy or it might have been
Well, I don't have any Danish.
Okay, well, one of the what country, where are your relatives from? Norway. Okay, whoever it was, we found church records and just all kinds of stuff that they didn't have. Okay, and they were just right here on MyHeritage. So these sites are here to help us. Okay, and you want to play around with them. Okay, you want to look at everything. I'm happy to, if you need help, I am happy to come over here and just call me. I'll meet you over here and come down and help you. Okay. That's my favorite thing to do. You might have to pick me up. My husband's.
What places does it cover really well, do you think?
Well, it's a European site and it covers Europe pretty well. Okay. So it's just a really good place to go. I'm going to go back over here and let's see. Let me go here. And now I'm going to go to the same place, but I'm going to go under her. And I'm gonna go back over here to my heritage. Okay, so there she is, listed with her parents. These are vital records from France, okay? And when you open them up, this is what I want to show you. Look down here at the bottom. It says attached to family search. Okay, so I am going to open her up right here. Okay, this is a church record. Okay, right there. It's a vital record. And when I open up the attachment, this is really well done. Okay, we've got everything here, just like you were adding it yourself. It's, you know, it's got the citation where it came from. It's got what's in it. Then I just add what I birth and death, and a lot of these don't have male or female. I always add it to the source box. Okay, and then I save it. And I come over here and
Why doesn't Ancestry do that? Where you can just click on something that says add to family.
there is a way to do it.
Yeah.
That you can. You gotta get, Rose knows how to do it. I'm just real picky about my sources. I like to add them. I like to hand add them. Yeah.
Someone I was searching for
Uh-huh.
and hit that site and it was all the stuff I was looking for and more. So except for one
Yeah.
thing, I'm still looking for.
So, yeah, I know. So now I look on here to see, okay, who else is listed on here? We have the father, okay, for this. So I go over here and I get the father's ID right there. I go back up to, I'm going really fast on this, and I'm more than happy to come back someday when it's in the daytime and help you if you need it. I go to the source box. I bring this up. I go to the number. I paste it in. It is, I don't usually add anything. And I attach it, go back over here. And now she's got that record right there. Okay, these sites are just trying to make it easier for us, okay? And so you just want to be using them. You want to learn how to use them. I would suppose if I sat down in the library and I didn't bring my laptop, I probably would bring up Ancestry and MyHeritage. Those are probably the ones that I use the most. And when you go over to Ancestry also, let me open up Ancestry here. I don't have it on here. Okay.
Can I say something?
Yep. You're an expert more than me, dear.
Chris is amazing. She has submitted over 2,000 names this year. 2,000 names.
Because I do it at night. You start doing this stuff, it gets addictive. Okay, if you want, it's a good thing to be addicted to. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to go here to where.
She wouldn't tell you that, but I.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Okay, so when you get into the search, I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact, but you can, if you're really having trouble finding somebody, okay, can't find anything. If all else fails, you can go to public trees on this thing and put in the information and see if somebody has an active tree. And when you're doing that, you got to be really careful because you got to see what kind of sources they have. But sometimes I really get stuck, and there it's got, it's got a birth date and a place where they were born. And I will call it an estimate, and I will go in and add it as a person here. And then I go up here to collaboration. Okay. And in collaboration, I add a note. Okay. I put an alert. I write what it is. I just write like birth date. And then what I do after I have it over here, I copy the URL, put it in there so the next person can find it. And it's right there for them. So I'm gonna turn that off so that, but that's just one of the things that I do, okay? Because you do get stuck. I love it when I was helping my husband actually with one of his things the other day that he couldn't find. And I went through all of this stuff and I couldn't find it, okay? There's some really old sites. That's when I go to the old genealogies that I showed you, looking for possible. I have a couple of things I was going to show you in genealogies. I'm going to go over here and add, let's see, let's go to find. And I was helping a lady in here one day. I'm going to find by ID number, and it's L6X9 4HS. Okay. And it's from Italy. Okay. And she didn't know very much about them. Okay. And this stuff in collaboration here is something I added for her. So I went on hers. I'm going to go back to FamilySearch. Go back to my family tree. I'm going to go to the old genealogies. And I'm going to add, let's see, it's O. SULFARE. And I'm put 1808. And all I'm going to put is Italy in here. And I searched. She's got, I found, let's see, didn't bring it up. I'm looking for. That's interesting how you go in here. He's always come up when I've been looking for this. I'm wondering if I have this correct. Hmm. And again, and I'm going to go to PA. I'm not seeing very well. I need my glasses here. Oh. There we go. What's that? No, I'm okay. I can't believe that didn't come up. There it is, right there. Okay. So here it is. Okay. She knew nothing about the parents, absolutely nothing. Okay. So here I hate these computers that I don't know anything about. But here he is. Okay. But what she found, this is really poor, seeing this is because I've made it really small, but she found the parents. And Anne here, I think I need to make this bigger because I'm just not.
The square in the top right.
Okay, right there.
Yep.
And which one then? Just, oh, okay. That's not a whole lot better.
Hit the plus sign.
There.
Hit that plus sign.
Ah, okay, okay. We didn't even catch the maiden name of Teresa the day I was doing this with her. She was so excited about this. And it was just there. It was there in the old genealogies. Okay. Now it's not, this is the old source. You can't go back and find this because this HTL, whatever, doesn't work anymore, but it is a source. You would not believe the things I have found on the old genealogies. And it's like anything else, okay? We don't know if it was verified, but sometimes just having the information is all you need to once you've got that, then you can find the source. So, branch out and try some other things as you're doing things. I was gonna tell you about one of my relatives, okay? Let's see, in 2023, I'm gonna pass this around. I received an email through MyHeritage from a man in Belgium. I think he was living in Florida, who said that my tree was not right for my grandfather, okay? And he actually outlined where it was wrong, and he wanted, here's my little letter, he wanted $7,500 to go in and fix it and add a couple hundred names and yeah, so anyway. And I kept it around for quite a while. I had that line, the grandmother that I had in there, and grandfather, they had been there for a long, long time. And also that was one of the things my sister-in-law had put in there. And I started looking at it, and I look at the dates, and I could see where it could probably be wrong. And I really did not know how to find them. I just wasn't sure, okay? And this is how I know that Heavenly Father is with us. For about a year, I prayed over this, okay? I put his, the parents of him, of what they would be in the temple. I put their names in on a fast Sunday, I'd fast for them. And about 9 months later, I opened up my email, and MyHeritage has sent me an email with the parents' names in it. That is not a coincidence, you guys. That is a miracle, okay? And they happen all the time when you're doing this work. I'll pass this around. He actually has her line too, although I can't prove that her line is not right. I have looked and looked and looked at all the documentation, and you can just pass those around. They're just kind of fun to look at. Let's see. I am going to go back to my main tree here.
Kristy, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I was helping Rose today, and we were trying to find newspapers. Well, the newspapers.com, the subscription is not paid by FamilySearch,
You mean for Ancestry newspapers?
and newspapers.com. Yeah, like, we did find, we found something in a newspaper, and then when we clicked on it, and you have to pay.
Okay,
So I thought there were certain things you could access.
well, I don't use the partner sites here, but there's about 15 sites. They're called premium sites.
Yeah,
I don't want to take all this down, but when you bring your computer up, one of the tabs up there is premium sites.
They've taken it down, we need to get it back up.
Yeah, you do,
Don't
because
have
it's hard,
premium sites.
it's hard to find. And you can use those sites in the library or in any church any church building in the United States, you can use those. Now, I have stories, and I have access to newspapers.com. I mean, I have it. It comes with stories if you do stories, and I do a lot of stuff. So, oh, okay, Linda's, yeah. My husband has the newspapers from Ancestry. So at home, I keep him logged into my Safari, and I keep me logged into my Chrome on my Apple, and then I could go back to his if I want to look at his newspapers. So anyway, so
I think we had trouble with Find My Past today too, didn't we? Getting in to Find My Past.
yeah, I don't use, like I said, I don't use my past. I just wanted to go over here and see if I can find. Okay, so. Okay, so these are the two, this is the grandfather, I mean, this is the person that goes in my line, the French line. Okay, this is the father and this is the mother. I'm really stuck on the mother. I need to go see Milan. And I'm stuck on them. I've got them, they're the right parents. I've got lots of documentation on them, okay? But I can't go farther than that. And sometimes if you haven't used Milan, One night on a winter's night, we were here in the library and it was dead. And I don't remember exactly what was happened, but I asked Milan if he could find any children for this family. And when he was done for the night, he had found all these children for me. Okay. And they're all from, I can't gotta remember if they're,
Belay that you found?
no, he found them on they're from Belgium. He speaks 9 languages, you guys. And he was able to go in and find them. And he typed me this beautiful, like source sheet to put everything in there. And so, ask for help. Okay. Don't if you need help, you need to ask. Okay. My husband and I are willing to come over and help you if you need help. And like I said, lots of times you can just call us on the phone and we can hop on the computer and you can give us the number, and we can help you that way. The purpose of this class is to get you excited. The church partners up with all these people and they share information, okay? And that's what the world's all about now, is the collaboration. You hear all these words that are foreign to us, that the kids are using now or they're teaching and stuff. The information is there and it's there to find. When you do this work, things happen. They just happen if you're dedicated, okay? Just before the pandemic happened, I had this man who was, he had contacted me on Facebook, he had contacted me on Instagram, he had contacted me, and he had a really Bolshevik name, and I don't friend anybody I don't know, but a few months later, I noticed that I had an email from him on my FamilySearch account, okay? And so obviously I wrote him back, and he turned out to be my mother's brother's family, okay? And he was an LDS, but he knew enough LDS people, and he said, his friend said, you need to contact that lady and tell her you have all the genealogy for this family. I wish I had brought my notebook. And he's provided me with, I can't tell you how many names. That's that just came out of the blue, okay, out of the blue. And later on, I found out he had tried to friend all my kids, my children, and they didn't know, I didn't know that until later on. And so, and we still share pictures and stuff back. He speaks perfect English. I don't know how, God just blesses you when you do this work. So, but don't get in a rut. That's what I'm trying to tell you tonight. If you need me to come over here and sit down with you and open up all these sites, or, I'll bring my computer and we can work on there. I'm just more than glad to help you. But get out of what you're doing and try something new. Okay. If what you're doing isn't working, the information is there. It might not be on FamilySearch, okay? It might be in a book, okay? You'd be amazed if you go up here and you go to search. Let's see, there it is right there. And you go to books. You can go to books and you can put your last name in, your surname in, okay? And I'm going to put my name in. That's my maiden name is Suker, S-U-K-E-R, okay? This is a book my brother did. This is a book my brother did of his wife who passed away. And here is my book.
Can I ask you one quick question?
Uh-huh.
Can you use Find a Grave
Oh, yeah.
on these sites as well? Is it free or is it something
Well,
you have to pay?
No, you don't have to pay for Find a Grave, okay?
There's advanced, I'm sure they try to get you to pay.
Yeah.
You can use them.
Yeah, but a lot of times your sources will come up with Find a Grave, and Find a Grave is wonderful, okay, especially if you get in and, sometimes you can find generations back, a couple of generations from FamilySearch. Sometimes you find obituaries that people have posted there. So, so just get out of what you're doing and try something new, okay? And if you need some suggestions, just let me know and I'll come over here and meet you, okay? So do I have any other questions?
Yeah, where do we get your phone number?
It's up on the board in there. Oh, maybe it's not up on the board anymore.
Yes.
It's still up there. It's Kristy Bloomer.
Okay.
Okay.
So Kristy, did you put this in, did you get this scanned here? and you put
I
this
got
in
it
from here?
scanned here.
Okay, you just have to fill out some paperwork.
And they filled out the paperwork. This book took quite a while to get copied, but my dad actually and my brother did this book. You would think that I would have been involved, but they didn't.
Is it a history too, or just pictures, or what is it?
So, okay, it's pictures.
What table was that?
That is the South Jordan.
Just kind of tells everything.
Yeah. So I've got the fan charts in for both families. This is a 100-page book. So, but yes, it's got the history of my mom and my dad. Yeah. And the nice thing about it is my dad made a copy for all the grandkids and stuff before he died, but we got more kids now, we have, and these books are, they're not cheap to do. So anyway, but it's there and, put your last names, your names, your surnames into books and see what you can find. Okay. A lot of you, I'm not a pioneer, and I have really unusual names. So I'm some German names, Jetzbacher and Maskalier and Burmeister and lots of fun things, so. Any other questions? Okay. So start trying something
I
new.
have a comment.
Uh-huh.
When I go into Ancestry,
Mm-hmm.
and look up different people, it shows up on FamilySearch that it has a feature where it shows
Where you've been?
where I was. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the names.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Okay. I mean, they keep track of everything. I think there's a camera on in every corner and everything we do is tracked today. So.
I was gonna say, and also under cemeteries, if you go into cemeteries, if you go, you can pull that out.
You talking about Are you talking about Ancestry?
No, I don't think it does other countries, but it'll show the cemeteries where your relatives are buried. You have to click on it, and it'll show where people are that are related to you in the cemeteries.
Really? Oh, okay. I do. I don't know how to do that. You'll have to show us.
What?
Since it shows it on a map, is that what you're talking about or something different?
No, it'll show you, if you go up to cemeteries.
It's under source,
It's
it's under research.
One thing I like about Ancestry searches is that I can go over here and pick, exactly, if I want to do a federal census and I want to look at, I can go to a very specific census and I can look up the 1920 census. The other thing with Ancestry, they have so many categories of things that you can look at. If I go to Google and go Ancestry Revolutionary War, it will bring right up the search on Ancestry for the Revolutionary War. It's right there. Because they're not all listed. So I use Google a lot, find a lot of good things on Google. So anyway, anything else? Well, thanks for coming. And now I got to get out of all these sites here because I have to log out of them all.
Stop the recording.
That's just happened.